Hey gang, this is Mike with Mr. No Fluff, and today's lesson is about the first person that changed my life in America. Um, and the story went something like this. I was a young kid with no confidence, no self-esteem, with a lot of disabilities. I was scared of all authorities because I had to flee my country as a refugee in the middle of the night as a little kid. Um, and we didn't take a plane. We had to like literally smuggle out of our country, go to the mountains and walk. It was pretty crazy as a young kid. So now I was here in America, didn't speak the language, didn't know anyone, and I was basically heading into the wrong path of life. I was hanging out with a bunch of street kids. I was doing wrong things. I was getting in trouble in school. I was getting barely passing school. Um, and then this gentleman told me, "Hey, I should get into wrestling." Um, and his name was Coach Johnson, and I was like, "Yeah, whatever, dude. I'm not, I'm not good at anything because I didn't have any confidence, any self esteem, anything like that." Then there was a couple other kids in school in class like, "Hey, man, you need to get in wrestling. You need to get in wrestling." So, anyways, I got into wrestling, and for the first time ever, I really excelled at it. And I think all because of this gentleman, because for the first time ever, he believed in me when no one else ever believed in me. Not even my mom, not my parents, not the school system, anyone. I mean, I was always say, "Hey, you're an F or you're a C, and you have this disability. You can't do this, and you can't do this, and you can't." So I was just programmed as, "Hey, I can't do shit." Right? I suck at school. My parents don't like me. I'm always getting in fights with other people. And even though I was very, very scared inside, I was a very tough kid outside. All right. So the truth was, I was very scared inside, and I was very tough. And if I didn't get into wrestling, and if this coach didn't pour his attention to me, right, his loving kindness and spotting me out, um, I probably wouldn't even be here doing these videos for you guys because I would have hanging out with the wrong crowd, and I probably would be dead or in prison. Um, so the importance of this guy's influence has impacted me. I'm almost 40 years old. I'm 39 years old. There hasn't been a week that goes by that I don't think about this guy and his family, and I wish them the best. And I really learned the meaning of significance, right? I mean, because this guy never bought me anything, never gave me anything for free, but he did pour his attention to me, right? He did take his time to help me out, and I did excel significantly in wrestling. For the first time ever in my life, I was able to excel versus just be an underachiever. Um, anyways, I learned so many different things from wrestling and for him that any of us can be leaders. Okay, and leading doesn't come by a mouthpiece or like you have a nice bracelet or you have a nice car, you have a nice house. No, being a leader comes from internally. It means that you're just willing to improve yourself. Okay. I'm in one way being a leader because I'm trying to improve myself to become a better speaker, and at the same time, I'm improving myself to become a significant to you guys because I had someone being a significant to me. So by that action of start where you stand, you become a leader. And that's why I try to teach you guys, you got to start where you stand. Doesn't matter what disabilities, what lags, what X, Y, Z you got to just start immediately where you stand. Okay. Because when you start, you build confidence. When you start, you make mistakes and you change them and you keep moving forward. But if you don't start at all, there's no improvement. There's no moving forward. Okay, all you or I may be doing is just thinking. Let me learn more. What if this happens? What if we're just pilling? We're not ever moving forward. So I learned from this gentleman how to be a leader, not from my mouth or my experiences or from my wins, just through starting after practice runs. So we use wrestling. If any of you guys had wrestling or ever you guys play football, you know how tough that is. But wrestling was even a lot harder than football because I played football too. And by the time you're done with a 2 hour practice, all your clothes you could just and this water would come out of it. Okay, but you'll be burning like 3,000 to 5,000 calories. But after practice, I would go and do bleachers, around the stadiums. And let me remind you, I was just a freshman. There was all these badass, excuse my language, wrestlers on my team that were seniors and juniors that were state placers, but none of them ever did that. They were awesome. And as a freshman, you know how it is to have peer pressure. I start running after class, and before I knew it, a couple of weeks went by. One other guy joined me. A couple of months went by. Two people and three people, and before I knew it, I had half the team running with me. The seniors running with me. The guys that were way better than me. And the other thing I learned from him, Coach Johnson, thank you so much, is that he always put me with people that always had me on my back. Dude, I was on my back 24/7. I never was ever on top because I was always fighting on my back because he would put me with people that were like state champions. I was just a freshman. He would put me with people that were like way heavier than me. And I was always on my back. And guess what the result of that was? All through my wrestling career, I never got pinned. No one ever pinned me. People won by points. I wrestled the state placer number one. I wrestled state placer number two. None of them pinned me. I remember how mad they were that they couldn't pin me, but they beat me. Right? I was a freshman or a sophomore, and even I really realized that sometimes when you lose, you can still win. Right? And that's another thing I learned, that when you lose, you can still win. Like if you're willing to absorb what had happened. Okay. And point number two was that it's good to be on your back. So if you have a tough life, you just have to submit to it. You just have to say yes, thank you, and move forward. Right? You can't be like me, just thinking about your life like, oh, how hard it is. I don't speak English. I don't know anybody. I only have a couple pairs of clothes. I'm not a cool kid. You can't dwell on that kind of crap like I used to. Right? Um, but that kind of crap is what helps me to move forward. And if whatever situation you may be going through, right, whatever that crap is, that's what you need, that crap. And I keep saying crap because if you look at a flower, we take crap like sheep crap or horse crap or whatever, and we fertilize the ground. And from the crap, we have a beautiful harvest. Okay, beautiful flower, beautiful bananas, or whatever fruit you want from it. Right? It comes from crap, dude. So you cannot go from beautifulness into more beautiful. That's not the world we live in. The world we live in is, if I show you this part of my hand, you're not going to be able to see the other part of my hand, guys. Okay, and that's just what it is. If the reason there's a right is because there's a left, right? So you have to have that crap to have the top, and that's something that I didn't understand. When I used to wrestle and always be on my back, I didn't understand it. I didn't understand that to like 10 years later when I started becoming an entrepreneur, that man, my coach was so much advanced in his brain than I was, that I used to hate on him because he had me on my back all the time. But damn, all that time I was on my back in practice never allowed me to get pinned, allowed me to accelerate, allowed me to take those feelings and push myself forward. And I didn't understand that to 10 years later, guys. At that time, I thought he was just a jackass for making me be on my back all the time with all these guys that were better than me, and I never got to wrestle with people who were the same quality as I did. It was people that were just way better than me. Okay. And he also taught me how to be a self leader by not with my words or with my money or my muscles, just by my action. By I wanted to improve. Now, talking about improvement, I want to thank my coach one more time. Is that for the first time ever, I learned what it is to be a seeker. Okay. What does that mean? A lot of times when I was going through school, I was forced education on me. Like, hey, learn geometry, learn chemistry, learn physics. And some of those stuff was cool and I want to learn about it, but some of it wasn't that cool. Okay. And I was forced into learning this stuff. And I hated school. For the first time ever, I learned what a true seeker was. Is someone like myself that hates something will go out and seek that information without getting paid or an A or a grade or any specific thing. I'm sitting here and I'm giving you guys, I don't get anything from it. I just do it out of my heart. Since 2013, I've been doing it, dude. And just to be a seeker, because I don't know everything and I'm seeking and I'm just sharing with you with my experiences of failures and some successes. And I just try to keep it real with you guys without fluffing it up. So, anyways, give me one second, guys. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Um, oh yeah, to be a seeker. Um, for the very first time ever, I would go after practice, what I created my own practice after practice. Then I would go to the coach's office, and it was like pretty late now, and he'd still be up there working, right? Because he has to grade all this class students and stuff. And I say, hey man, did you have any of the videos that you watch as the coach? Let me watch those videos, because he would watch professional, instructions, and then he would come and to practice and train us. So I would go to him and say, let me watch the videos you're watching so I could improve on my because he would only teach like say one move a week or two moves a week, and I wanted to learn more moves. And so eventually I kept going to him, and I was getting the videos he was watching to teach the students, and I was watching them when I went home because I really enjoyed working out. I really enjoyed just getting my ass kicked. I really enjoyed you know being more than I ever was, right? So I wanted to learn, and I really realized what a seeker is. A seeker is someone that wants to change or wants some information, and they go by themselves, just like some of you guys are. Some of you guys are watching because you're a self seeker. They're not giving you money. They're not giving you an award. They're not giving you a plaque. They're not giving you nothing. You're just a seeker. You want something better. Like I want to be a better wrestler, so I went and watched the coaches videos, right? Because I wanted to be better, not because I wanted to win or I wanted to have a trophy. No, I wanted to become better because the more I worked out, the more better I become, the more I felt better, the more I was able to become more of a seeker, dude. Because one of the powerful thing is when you become a seeker and then you find, right? Let's say it's a harvest in this case. Let's say you want to make some money and you become a seeker and you harvest, you make that money, you become more of a seeker, right? I'm not talking about belief, like you believe in something, right? Like you believe you never experienced it. I'm talking about you're a seeker, and then you plant from what you seek, right? And you have a harvest from that. You become a more of a believer, dude. Okay, that's what happened with real estate in 2006, fourth quarter when the real estate started melting down. I didn't believe in real estate. I tried to get a loan. No one would give me a loan. I had a couple $100,000, but I didn't want to use all of it because everything was melting down. I wanted to buy a bunch of rental properties, and no bank would give me a loan because everything was crunched up. Even though I was a bona fide buyer with good credit, with a lot of money, they said no, man, it had just melted down. Thank you, God. See, again, there was shit on the ground, dude. There was all this shit, right? This dog manure, this cow manure, all this stuff. And from that, I was able to come up. So the point of the story is, guys, that we have to thank people in our lives, right? And take moment to think about it because a lot of people have shaped our lives, dude. And if we do that, then we're going to have more abundance because we're going to feel good, dude. And the other thing is, you have to be a seeker, dude. You have to seek information and don't only be a seeker without planning because just seeking without implementation it's just education, our university systems, dude, where we get a degree in X and then we come out and doing Y. Does that make sense? It's really not what we wanted to do. We just did it for the money. So that's not a seeker, dude. A seeker is for self improvement. Whatever it is, you want to build more muscle, you want to lose weight, you want to make $1 million, you want to get some rentals, you want to give your kid a house, you want to pay for your kid's school, whatever it is, you're seeking this by yourself, not from some external motivation because you have to pay bills, because you just want to do it. If you're doing it from external motivation, like I got to pay bills or I got to pay for my car, then those are not seeking. Those are university. Those are like forced onto you, like high school, elementary, all these classes. You can never find the true answer by force. You can only do it through the inside going out, dude. And I really want to thank my coach Johnson for changing my life. There hasn't been a day that's gone by that I haven't thanked this guy. I haven't seen him since high school, but he's always with me. I've always mentioned to many different people. And I just want to make this video for him that I really, really appreciate him. He's impacted my life more than he can believe. And I wish him and his family the very, very best. If any of you guys know him, still have much love for him. And I hope you guys will become a significant in someone else's life because that's what life is about, dude. It's not about material things. And I hope you go to the journey of getting the abundance of material things for you to realize it yourself. Because, like that comedy guy says, I don't watch the, I forgot his name, but he wishes everyone had fortunes and fame to see that life is not about. And I know I don't know it like I believe it. I know it because I experienced what he's saying. I had a bunch of stuff. I mean, there's more expansion. There was more sickness in me, and until I can sit and have nothing and be 100% happy with what I am, it doesn't matter how many mountains I climb, how much stuff I have. I'm still gonna feel the same exact way of the disease of expansion and expansion, expansion, and expansion is great, right? If you want your biceps to grow, it's okay. But when you have so much abundance of expansion, like every year they come with a new car, and the cars are worth so much less than what they used to make 30 years ago, but 40 years ago, you can still see classic cars well better mounted, design welded than today. If you're, into bikes. If you guys look at a bike today, like you look at a track today, the welding on it is so horrible versus the track they made in 2000, guys. I mean, it was handmade. It was that bike is so much better, or it can't end up from there to today. It was so much better design quality than what it is. Or if you even go look like a 1973 French bike that I had and sold recently, it was so beautiful, guys. It was like 25, 30 years old. There was not a rust on it. It was so much better made than today. So the the idea of constantly consuming and constantly producing uh, and constantly growth and expansion um, is not only bad for us because there's never ending, and it's really bad for the environment because there's only so much wood there is out there. There's only so much plant. There's only so much resources, and then we consume all this making shitty products that only have to every year we have to upgrade it, right? Or get a newer one or a newer car, a newer model. Then where does that leave you? Because you have to always spend money. You always have to buy the newest thing because it doesn't last that long. It breaks down. It leaves you not spending any time with your family or whatever you love. You like to play the drums, you like to play the piano, you like to hang out with your kids, you like to go fishing, whatever you like, dude. There's no time for that, dude. And on top of that, you're killing the exact area where you live. You know what I'm saying? Your family, your kids, you're killing them, dude. I mean, you're not gonna shit in your own house. Why would you shit the planet, dude? Think about it. I just said, do you shit in your own house? There's a little designated room, etc. You wouldn't just sit on the carpet and on the living room. No, dude. Why would we do that to the planet, dude? You know, so, anyways, guys, I really want to thank my coach. Go hustle and bustle. Just remember, dude, if you're going through shit, remember, from the shit is when you get a harvest, dude. That's how the flowers work. That's how the trees work. That's how watermelon is made. Everything's made from dirt. And then they put shit on top of it to fertilize it, to give it the nutrients for it to bloom. Hustle and bustle, guys. Thank you.